Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. We are back with the Ted Show. This is the Ted Show first. I don't think I've ever had anybody on from the rodeo, so I'm super excited to have my friend Chris Baker is here. We're going to talk about the upcoming rodeo at Silver Spurs Rodeo and all the good stuff that's been going on. We were just having a great conversation about pandemic and how people are just itching to get out, and so here's an awesome opportunity. Welcome, Chris. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm really happy to be here. I'm glad you invited me to come speak with y'all today.
Very excited. We had a great talk about family and where we go to school, where everybody went to school. But tell us about you, that people want to get to know you a little bit. They love the journey. They like to kind of figure out, were you born doing rodeo? How did that all come into play? And so give them a little background on Chris.
Wow, that's going back a little ways. Well, my family's been involved with the Silver Spurs probably since we came together about 1941, 1942, and my family was this one kind of that second wave that came into being members with the Silver Spurs. So our organization goes back that far.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir. My great grandfather was a champion bull rider back in the 50s, and came home once he quit rodeo and started raising some cows. Had my dad, and my uncle, who were rodeo cowboys. They bull rode as well, and then my brothers also rodeoed. My brother Joey and my brother Jake, and I tried it. I was a little bit bigger than they were. Something about that centrifugal force. I didn't mind the flying part. I just didn't like the landing part. And they were good bull riders, and they actually got rodeo scholarships to go to college to do that.
I didn't even know those existed.
Oh, heck yeah. In fact, they still go on today. My daughter Scout, who's out at Texas Tech, her boyfriend is at Howard College, which is south of there, Big Springs, on a rodeo scholarship. So they still have that in a lot of colleges across the nation. So it's a big thing, and it's really good.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about the rodeo itself. So obviously, when people think of rodeo, we all have our TV movie perception of that.
Right.
So give us an idea of what it's like at the rodeo. We were just talking, I have family even before my kids in Texas. So It's not like I haven't been to a rodeo or two. But I think people don't know what to expect when they go to a rodeo if you've never been before.
Well, I tell you what, it's action packed. It's fun, and a lot of people don't know this, but the Silver Spurs was voted one of the top 10 rodeos in USA Today in 2019.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, we're the largest rodeo east of the Mississippi. So when you come to our rodeo, of course, you're going to have a bareback riding, which is a bronc event, a horse event. You'll have steer wrestling, which is the big man event, which is probably something I should have tried a little bit more of when I was younger. Maybe I could have been a little bit better at that event. So that's our big man event. Saddle bronc is also a horse event, and you'll see that that our contestants are on a horse and have a rein that they're trying to maintain. They're sitting up on the horse, and then of course a barrel racing for the ladies, and that's a pretty good event. We're going to have quite a few ladies that are high up in the standings of the PRCA at our show this year. Of course, team roping, calf roping, and everybody loves the bull riding event. So that's going to be a great event. We're going to have some great professional rodeo cowboys there, but there's a lot of energy at our rodeos, even though that we're going to be at about a 35% capacity. There's going to be a lot of energy there. We've got a professional clown coming in to make sure that during the downtime, he's got us laughing. He's keeping the show going. But other than that, you're coming to a rodeo to see the action, to see the horses buck, to see the bulls buck, to see the cowboys compete. And they're professional athletes. Don't get me wrong. Our rodeo contestants are professionals. Our livestock are professionals. Talk
about that a little bit, because I think people don't understand that this is a full commitment. This isn't just something you decide to do on the weekend. This is you're trained. Tell us a little bit about the work that goes in.
Well, you have to take into consideration, if you want to be the best at your craft, whether you be a rodeo cowboy, whether you're police officer, whether you're in real estate, you want to be the best. You're going to have to devote a lot of time and energy towards that. So these fellas just aren't, urban cowboy on the weekends doing their thing, drinking beer. Now, granted, some beer gets drank. Don't get me wrong, but
it's okay with me.
Hey, who am I to begrudge? But I will tell you, these people are athletes. They're working towards being in the best health that they can be. They're animals. If they like so say your team ropers, those people, their horses sometimes are worth as much as a brand new car. So they're putting a lot of effort, time, and money into these things. So in order to be the best, sometimes you have to spend it. It takes money to make money. Have you heard that before?
Absolutely.
Well, our rodeo contestants are the same way, and they're out there spending that money. They're in the best health that they can be. They're athletes. They are doing their very best. They want to win the world, and that's what they're up against. All that competition, week in and week out, trying to get
so much. It's not only so much work, but there's a real art and science and train, like everything that goes into it. You're not, like you said, not an urban cowboy. You're not just going to get on the bull for the first time or try to rope the first time. You have to. It's a commitment. It's a big deal. What do you say to people? I had this question, and they worded it very nicely, and I figured I'd let you respond.
Okay.
Do the people at the rodeo, do they love animals?
Oh my Lord, do we love animals? I'd probably tell you that that's kind of where the love of it all began, and I can tell you that with our rodeo specifically was basically 8 couples for the love of horsemanship. That's how our rodeo started. My family, we have a beef herd and we have a rodeo herd, and the time and effort and money that is spent on these animals is, it's almost like your child, to be honest with you.
Of course.
I can tell you that many a time we have sat up with a sick animal, overnight, trying to nurse that animal back to health or to do what we can. Even, we knew the odds were stacked against us. We've got the vet out there doing everything they can to help an animal. These animals are not mistreated in any way, shape, or form. If it's within our ability to do something for an animal that's sick or hurt, it gets done.
I love that. And I knew that, but I wanted you to say it because I know that. And I think it's important for people, their perception, right? If you don't know anything about the rodeo, you're going to judge, and right or wrong, it's what happens. So you sharing that, I think, was important because I think people need to understand that it's a craft. It's something that you do. There is so much that goes into it. You're not disregarding anything. You're appreciating everything, including the animal that you're working with.
Well, and another thing that people don't realize is, livestock is terminal, and it gives these animals a new lease on life, so to speak. So, instead, at the end of their usefulness as a competitor, most of these animals are put out to pasture, and, they're not sent to market and such. So, and if it wasn't for the sport of rodeo, a lot of these animals, they would go from the ranch to the packing house. Well, a lot of these animals aren't going to that packing house. They are going from the pasture to the rodeo arena to almost a member of the family, so to speak, and then being put out to pasture, and a lot of times they die on the pasture where they were born or raised. And what better way to honor an animal than being able to keep it around and for
beautiful thing. I think people it was good for you to clarify. I think it's so important. I think I've never met anybody who's been in any kind of anything to do with animals that doesn't have a love and a passion and a real love and respect and passion who they're working with. And like you said, becomes part of the family.
Mhm.
I mean, you think about it. I think people just don't understand. It's like your dog or your cat. It's
Oh, yeah.
something that's very important to you.
Yeah,
So mistreating it is
you can't
not.
pet them all. You can't pet them all, but
That's right.
we respect them for what they are.
I love it.
But there's a love. There is a love there for them.
So tell us about how people get tickets. What's the best way for them to reach out? How can they get tickets, and maybe give us an idea, family friendly. I think I know that answer, but tell them about kids and who can actually come.
Okay, well, of course, kids 10 and under are free, but we've had to set kind of a limit on kids 10 and under because we are to reduce capacity at 35% for the show. So what we're asking people to do to cut down on the personal contact with people is to come buy tickets online, and that's silverspursrodeo.com. We will have a few tickets at the box office, but we're really trying to reduce that contact between people. So please come to the website. You can buy your ticket there. If you don't feel safe, don't come. We want people to feel safe.
Yes.
But if you still want to support the Silver Spurs Rodeo, you can donate to us at the same place at silverspursrodeo.com. And people, I would like them to know, of course, we have a board of directors, but we're not like, a corporate board of directors where that money goes to the board. We have one employee. Everyone they see at our rodeo is a volunteer. So
Wow.
everyone from the person at concessions to the ticket taker to the people pushing the animals to the livestock through the chutes and stuff, all of those people are volunteers. We have one employee. So when we're done paying off our bills, all that money goes right back into the community. So we're doing that with the Guardian Ad Litem. We're doing that through breast cancer research in the past is what we've done. And we give out we give out several scholarships to graduating seniors in Osceola County. So we're not taking that money and holding on to it. We're turning around and putting it right back into the community.
I didn't know about the volunteer part. Once again, this goes to we love what we do and we love the animals we work with. I think that's amazing. All right. February 19th to the 21st. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir. February 19th, 20th, 21st. The 19th and 20th are at 7:30, and the 21st is a matinee. So it starts at 2.
As we head out, what's your favorite event to watch?
A lot of people are going to be surprised by this, but having so many bull riders in my family, but the saddle bronc is my favorite.
Really?
The saddle bronc is my favorite. It's probably the closest to real life, the rodeo event that's closest to real life, because every cowboy needed a horse, so every horse needed to be broken. So that's the closest thing. I love it. I wish I'd have tried it as a young man. I didn't. But we've got some good competitors in that field. In fact, one of my closest friends in high school, he was a couple years behind me, but somebody I admired very much, Jim Burnett, is a SEC champion, Southeastern Circuit PRCA champion. Great bull rider. I wish he was still, saddle bronc rider. I wish he was still doing it, but every chance I get to see him ride it's always a thrill for me. And he just most recently rode at one of the ranch rodeos. And so we got a chance to see him. He's a great saddle bronc rider. He's a great ambassador for rodeo. So if you ever get a chance to meet Jim Burnett, you need to talk to him. He's a great guy.
All right. silverspursrodeo.com. You can reach out to me. I can put you in touch with Chris. I can get you to the website. You guys go out. They are obviously being incredibly cautious and compliant, but they want you to be able to get out and have a good time and still keep the entire feel and spirit of the rodeo intact. So big, giant kudos to you for all you do in our world, Chris. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Guys, go out. It's going to be fun.
Yep. I thank you for having me, and I hope you come out and see us, Ted. It'd be nice to see you there.
I would love to. All right, guys. Chris Baker, silverspursrodeo.com, February 19th through the 21st. Get your tickets. Thanks so much for being on the show, my friend. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Anytime. Call me anytime. I'll be glad to see you.